So,
yeah. But here's I what you're saying makes all the sense in the world. I just come back to again. Steph Curry is one of the 10 or 15 greatest players in the history of this game. He's going to be a unanimous Hall of Fame selection. He's going to be first ballot. He gets in. He completely and irrevocably changed the game of basketball. And there's maybe 5 people who can say that, who can really actually say that. So again, what are we talking about? like, why would anybody say, well, that's a good point. Steph Curry's not really a leader.
yeah.
What are you talking about? That's insane.
That's my point. That's my point. Yeah, all of this is reaction to insanity. Like it's all like we're overreacting, and then everybody's going crazy. Like,
why would you put any weight to that, though? I don't understand.
Yes,
but the average people do. That's the sad thing.
Average people. That's the whole point. They're average people.
Listen,
they don't matter.
I agree 1,000%. But I do think he was feeling. I do think Zena's right. I do think like the retirement talk. I think that was a confession that he feels it more than he lets on. You know, Draymond does the whole, you ain't gonna change me. I'm Draymond, I'm tough. Like, nah, he feels it when the entire nation is coming down on his head. Like,
I guess maybe it seems
he feels
like
it. Yeah. I would think that's him saying, man, like, it's too much for me. Like, he can handle being a villain in the stadium. Like, he can handle being a bad guy as long as he got the people who love him. But when everybody is down on him, it probably felt like it was too much. I just feel like, and when you talk to people behind the scenes, they'll tell you, like, man, Draymond's a great dude. He's just crazy sometimes. And I do think a part of the different perspective is like when I talk to people about it, the players understand and people understand who know people like Draymond already. If you've never dealt with anybody like Draymond, then yeah, it's kind of wild. But a lot of us have uncles and cousins who are just like Draymond. Like, so it's not that jarring. Like, you know, I was talking to Kevon Looney. Looney's like, bruh, Draymond is a saint compared to people who I know. Like, you know, it's like, so I do think that the perspective inside the locker room, I know people's big take is how the Warriors are enabling them. How can they do this? It's like, man, like Draymond is the knucklehead on the team, but you need him on the team. Like they want him on the team.
Can't win without one.
Yeah, exactly. The idea that these dudes, and that's the part. Like people, there's so much that happens behind the scenes on a team that I don't feel comfortable making a judgment. Like there's so much. Like if Draymond, for instance, just pick a player. Give me a player on the Warriors. Zena, say a name.
Klay Thompson.
If Draymond like is great to Klay Thompson's parents and takes, you know, whatever Draymond, if he had kids, takes them out and he's always good to him and when Klay was going through it, Draymond was there for him and all that. And then like all that is true and it's been true for 10 years. And then Draymond goes through this. You really expect Klay Thompson to be like, man, forget Draymond. That is not how humans work. That is not how humans work. You can ride with the dude who been with you.
That's my guy.
That's what I'm saying. My
guy. And the problem is the public sees that as enabling.
Yes.
Right?
The problem is people don't know all that other stuff. Like they don't know all that other. You see what you see on the court and what we bring to you, what we get at. I don't know all of the stuff. Like I don't know all. You're like, you don't like who do if you was about to get jumped at a bar, who you calling on this team? Like
Draymond Green. And if anyone is trying to say it's somebody else, you lying. Yeah. You know you're lying.
And if you had to call Draymond and he showed up, wouldn't that change how much you're willing to put up with from him? Like, brother, is it like that's what I'm saying. So we view this. I don't feel comfortable making these judgments because I'm viewing this from the perspective that I know, but I don't know most of that. Like, it makes sense to me why they would ride with him.
I hate to make life like the movies. But did you see The Town, the movie about the bank robbers in Boston?
What do we look like, Joe Mazzulla or something?
my man Ben Affleck goes up to his guy and he says, "Look, I need you to do something for me. You can't ask me about it. I got to go hurt somebody. And my man looks up, and Jeremy Renner looks up and says, "Whose car are we taking?"
Hey,
That's Draymond.
that's Draymond. That's Draymond. That's Draymond. I describe this as like every single, if it's hard for you to kind of empathize the positions that a Steph or a Clay or the people that have ridden with Draymond for the longest, like imagine you have that one childhood friend that you've gone in life and you've gone to different schools or you've gone and basically changed your environment significantly.
Yeah.
But your childhood friend rode with you, right? They protected you in school. They were the person on the park that, always played with you when you were in the park. They were the person that was at your house. But maybe they're not as smart as your new friends, or maybe they're not as fashionable as your new friends, or maybe they don't make as much money as your new friends. But that's still your friend. That's your person that was there for you from the very beginning. And it's kind of like, I know I'm in this space now, but I'm not letting that go. Right. And I'm not trying to say that, Draymond's not as smart or fashionable or whatever as someone else, but I'm just trying to say that for them, this is part of who he is.
Absolutely.
And it's also what's part of what makes him so great and why the friendship has allowed to, foster so much or become this thing that's been successful for the Warriors.
And, right.
So,
and he's a big part of why they got 4 rings.
Yes.
Huge part of
Yes.
Correct.
Huge part,
Huge,
massive part.
huge.
With that said, like he do be wilding on the court. Like
Yes.
with that said, like he hasn't been available. And like I'm not saying they aren't frustrated. Like, of course it's frustrating. I've never seen that locker room more mad than when he punched Jordan Poole. Like that was they were.
No, that went beyond. That was
beyond. Absolutely.
That was beyond. Like
that's the one thing where they like. I mean, it's just Draymond, except for that Jordan Poole thing. That wasn't.
That's the exception to the rule. That's the exception
But the rest
to the
of
rule.
it is like, it's kind of Draymond.